Hello and welcome to today's edition of the Danielle Daily Show. I am Danielle Watson. I'm so glad to have you here with me today. I have a fun story for you. I have today's note to self, and I'm really looking forward to having you guys jump in here on the conversation. You know, I know that change is always in the air, whatever season it is. It looks like Elena has joined us. Thank you so much. I love having you and Lacey here as often as possible. I know that having a new baby makes your schedule really busy, and I appreciate you taking the time and even setting an alarm on your phone so that you are sure to watch us. I just saw another picture go across the screen with a thumbs up. I'm not sure who that was. I'm so used to seeing Elena's, I know exactly what it looks like. So if you're here, let me know by typing something into the comments. I don't know you're here if you don't let me know. So you can totally watch the show incognito anytime you like, but I love it when you let me know you're here so I can greet you. Elena is definitely here. Love you guys. So happy to have you girls here. So today we are talking about winning at change. And change is one of those things that it's a constant in life. It never seems to slow down. It feels like as soon as we get stable with something else is changing in another area. Tammy says, happy Thursday. Awesome. Thank you so much for joining me, Tammy. I'm so glad to have you here. So change is something, as I was saying, that it's just inevitable, and it always seems to be happening more and more. You know, recently I've had a lot of changes happening. The new year, I've started initiating certain changes, and then there are other things that are changing that maybe are not so much planned by me, but are part of the natural, inevitable process of things developing. It looks like we have, I think that's Michael Keck down there. Thank you for joining me. It's awesome to have you here. So change is something that I don't know about you, but I don't tend to love it. And as I get older, I'm getting better about recognizing that if I just allow the change, that things are a lot easier than if I work really hard to try to keep things the same. And it doesn't mean that it's my favorite thing in the world. Occasionally, you know, we're really excited about change, like, hey, I'm getting a new dress, or hey, I'm getting a new haircut, or hey, I'm moving to my very first house, or something like that. There are changes that are super exciting that we love, but there are a lot of changes that happen sort of day to day that we really want to rage against because we don't like where we feel like they're leading us, or we feel like it's going to disrupt us, or it's going to tire us out. I know that's something that's really big for me. Elena says, I hate change. I'm with you. But at the same time, there are also other changes that are super exciting, right? Like having Lacey, super exciting. That was a big change that you welcomed into your life. So it's like, it's funny if we think about it, we don't really hate change. But there are certain changes that just feel like maybe they're out of our control, or they're taking us in a direction that we don't want to go. And so we tend to want to squash those kinds of changes, or at least dig our heels in and sort of take as long as possible. Elena says, that's very true. Yeah, that was pretty much the biggest change that anybody could ever make to their life, adding another human being to it. So I congratulate you on doing that and doing it so gracefully and having so much enthusiasm the experience, because having a new human being, a baby in your life to take care of, that's a huge change. So if you are a part of my tribe and you're used to receiving my emails pretty regularly, you might have noticed about an hour ago that you did not receive your regular email, and you might have been thinking, where is Danielle? She is supposed to be in my inbox telling me something awesome or positive or something that makes me think, and she's not there. So I wanted to let you guys know that I actually am sending out the email a little bit later today, because what we're talking about on the show today, I developed further in the email, and I wanted more people to have access to it. So if I can, I'm going to try to put the link down here in the comments, and so that anybody who wants to get that can get it now. Hold on. This is my first time doing this, so this is always interesting. I might have to wait until after the broadcast. I thought I would try because you guys are so patient with me. So after the broadcast, I will include the link. The email will not go out until 3:30 p.m. Eastern time, so there's plenty of time if you want to get on the list and talk more about this topic of change. And today is Groundhog Day, and I actually have not checked the news to see if the groundhog saw his shadow or not. Can anybody who's watching report to me on whether or not the groundhog saw his shadow and whether we're in for, 6 more weeks of winter, or whether we're looking forward to that change of seasons of spring? I would love to know. As you guys know, I don't take in a whole lot of news, so that would be something that I would love it if you would let me know. So I have today's note to self for you, and like I said, there are so many changes. Michael Keck says 12 more years of winter. Well, if that's true, I'm moving. I'm moving to the Bahamas because although we've had a fairly mild winter here in Northern Virginia, 12 years of winter is way too long. Tammy says, happy to be in Texas. Yes, it sounds like Texas has had a really mild, nice winter where one can sit outside and drink an iced beverage at Starbucks even in February, which I am certainly jealous of. So this idea that there's change and that some of it we like and some of it we don't, it's something that I really want us to all think about embracing more. I'm working on embracing it more because there are some areas of life where I'm making changes, but a lot of times that sort of sets off a series of events of change that maybe I don't have a lot of control over. So Eric says, change is to ridges as sweet is to sour. Ooh, I'll think about that a little more. Change is to rigid as sweet is to sour. Yeah, I think that's very well said. Eric says, I hope that groundhog brings a truckload of snow. Eric, you and I are no longer friends. If he brings a truckload of snow, you and I are no longer friends. And so it's interesting that nobody seems to know whether the groundhog saw his shadow or not. I'm getting some ha-has across the screen, so I think Eric took that in good stride. So as the year progresses, let's all think about just embracing change a little bit more. And like I said, I developed this concept more in today's newsletter. That's why I waited a little bit longer to send it out so that anybody who was watching live or anybody who was watching the broadcast could sign up. If you're watching the broadcast afterwards and you want to make sure that you are part of the tribe and that you get to read the email, please let me know by just leaving me a comment or private messaging me. I'm happy to do that for you manually. Or if you sign up and you don't get anything, just let me know and I will go ahead and send you a copy manually. I want everybody to have that who wants. Tammy says 6 more weeks of winter, and Elena says 6 more weeks. I know. Okay, I don't know. We might need to go have a word with that groundhog. Tammy says except in Texas because they're not really having winter there. So okay, I'm not terribly happy with the groundhog's prognostication, but I'm going to believe that it's going to be okay and that the change to spring will be here before we know it. I know I'm certainly looking forward to seeing things growing from the trees. Eric says, high five, Mr. Puxkatani. No, Eric, you are going to be on my list of jerks on Facebook if you keep going that way. So, like I said, I have a great note to self for you today. I hope that you will write it down. Go ahead and get your pen and paper out if you use a pen and paper. I love it when you guys write these down and let me know how you're applying them in your life or if they're going on your whiteboard or what you're doing with them, because I think that the way that you guys use them is so much more interesting and intelligent than what I have in mind when I'm writing them. So thank you for sharing those with me. Tammy's putting snowmen on the screen. Okay, here's this note to self. It says, Dear self, the more comfortable you become initiating change, the more adept you will become at navigating inevitable change. So that's one of the things that I talked about in today's newsletter, and one of the reasons that I delayed it an hour and a half so that more people could read about it. The more comfortable we become at initiating change in our life, the more practiced we become at it, right? It's like building a muscle. We practice initiating change in our life and we become more comfortable at it. So when those inevitable changes in life that come from the outside happen, we are much more skilled at navigating those changes. We understand the process of change. We understand our own emotional response to change. We understand how it is that we need to react to that change to move us in the direction that we want to go, rather than letting the change sort of crash over us like a wave that decimates us. Instead, when we have practiced the skill of being adept at change, we can instead sort of like ride the wave of change like we're a surfer, like we're surfing on top of the wave and ride the wave of change, or use it in a way that benefits us rather than getting the smackdown from the huge giant tidal wave that just came at us of change. So I developed that concept more fully in today's email to the tribe. If you're not on it, I will put the link in the comments as soon as the broadcast is over. You can follow that and sign up, and I will make sure that you get a copy. If you sign up before 3:30 Eastern, it will automatically go to you. If you sign up after that, just let me know so that I make sure that I send it to you manually. Eric says, change can be momentary or short-term chaos, but if the long-term effect or outcome is positive or beneficial, the journey is worth it. You're right, and I feel that, and yet I know that so many of us, when we're going through change that doesn't feel good, it feels like chaos or it feels like pain, it's so easy to feel invalidated when people tell us, oh, the journey's going to be worth it, or it's going to benefit you later. And I'm trying to find a way to express that sentiment, because you are absolutely correct. The outcome, if it ends up positive, we are able to look back with hindsight and see how the change or benefited us. But in the moment, I'm trying to become more skilled at validating what somebody is experiencing as real, and also encouraging them to continue to move forward with an eye to that hope that it will end up benefiting them. So let me read you the note to self one more time. Remember, I will be back here tomorrow, 3:00 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific. The Danielle Daily Show happens each weekday at the same time. You can catch me here. I love your comments. I love your questions. When you guys send me questions that you'd like me to answer on the show about, being positive, about changing your mind about something, about having a different perspective, about loving yourself more, it just makes me so happy that I can provide an answer that might help you sort of look in the direction that you need to look. So please feel free to send those to me anytime. It just makes my day. Eric says, change muscle, I'm lacking that. I want to Google it, but I'm scared that's part of the dark web. Yeah, I don't know about that. But yes, develop your change muscle. So the more often, it's like doing reps. The more often you initiate change, it's like doing another bicep curl. And you know that when you do bicep curls, inevitably, I am being blown up with hearts and thumbs ups. Thank you so much. So when you work a muscle, when you do repetitions, it has no choice. You get stronger and it builds. And you can do the same thing with your emotional independence, with your ability to navigate change. So think about that, initiating change with the idea of building that muscle up so that it's strong and capable, and whatever load is put on you or feels like it's put on you from the outside, from those inevitable changes, you're ready to handle it. Eric says, if there is a way to measure the chaos to see you're getting through, it may be key, but that's a challenge. That's true. And Facebook is just letting me know, congratulations, this is your most commented on live video yet. Awesome, I love that. Thank you, Facebook. All right, let me read you the note to self one more time. It says, dear self, the more comfortable you become initiating change, the more adept you will become at navigating inevitable change. So like I said, get comfortable initiating change, even if that means just doing something very small differently, changing up your routine in the shower, changing up the order that you do things in the morning. Eric says, #win. Awesome. So little changes, changing up things by trying a new food, or one of my favorite things that I changed a few years ago is I started unloading the dishwasher with my left hand instead of my right. And oh my gosh, it was hilarious at first because my left hand was like totally incompetent, but now I can do it with ease. And it was a way to challenge myself to think about things a different way, to change things up. And I believe it also probably helps some part of my brain, which I think is great. All right, one last time with the note to self, and I'll let you guys go. Remember, if you want to be part of the tribe and you want to discuss this more and hear more of my thoughts on this subject, sign up for the email. I will put the link in the comments as soon as the broadcast is complete. And thank you for sitting with me while I tried to see if it would let me paste it in there during the broadcast. The option came up, but it wouldn't let me select it, and it was a mess. So we will try that again another time. Okay, it says, Dear self, the more comfortable you become initiating change, the more adept you become at navigating inevitable change. And I always sign mine, love me. Okay, that is all for today. This has been the Danielle Daily Show. I am Danielle Watson. I will see you back here again at the same time tomorrow. How about inviting a friend to join us? Fridays are always really fun and loose, and we just kind of hang out and chat. I love having you guys here. I would love to meet the people in your life that you feel like would benefit from the show. Please feel free to share it with them. If you need anything, you know how to reach me. I love and appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you so much. I'll see you again tomorrow. Mwah! Bye.